Why did you accept someone else's flowers? Emily's voice was thick with suppressed anger, her eyes locked onto me as if trying to see straight through me. How could you let someone else be your girlfriend? She stepped closer, her presence radiating danger. Darling, you've been very naughty. I need to punish you. With that, she kissed me fiercely, no warning, no gentleness, just raw force, as if trying to grind me into her very being. Pain shot through me, and I instinctively bit her lip hard. Tears spilled from the corners of my eyes. Get off! I shouted, my voice trembling with fury. Emily's gaze landed on my tears, and she froze, as if time itself had stopped. A flicker of panic crossed her eyes, as if she couldn't believe what she had just done. Then, in an instant, she stood up, raised her hand, and, smack, slapped herself hard across the face. Darling, I'm sorry. I scared you. Her voice was thick with tears, her eyes filled with guilt and heartache. Don't be mad, okay? Then let me go. I looked at her, a hint of desperate hope in my voice. But she didn't answer. Emily, do you want to keep me locked up here forever? My voice rose, despair and anger boiling over. Darling, no, you have to believe me. Her voice was soft, almost pleading. I stood there, staring at the marks on her body, my ears filled with my brother's furious curses and Emily's frantic explanations. Suddenly, I took a few steps back, dodging her outstretched hand. Tears burst from my eyes. Emily, is this what you call a business trip? Darling, it's not what you think. You know you're the only one in my heart. Stop it. I shouted, grief and rage twisting inside me. With these marks on your body, what other excuses can you make? Darling, please believe me, it must be a misunderstanding. Emily looked down at the suggestive marks, her eyes red and swollen, on the verge of tears. She tried to explain, but her lips trembled, and no words came out, just a pleading look. But my mind was made up. Let's break up. I don't want a woman who's been dirted. Emily's strength seemed to drain away. She swayed, her eyes filled with heartbreak. Break up. Yes. Don't bother me anymore. Just looking at you makes me sick. I clenched my fists, the words cutting deeper than any blade. Tears poured from me like a broken dam. I turned and walked away in a daze. My brother chased after me, his voice a steady stream of comfort. Ethan, out with the old, in with the new. She's not worth your tears. This Emily is something else. I used to envy you too, childhood sweethearts. She spoiled you since you were little. I thought she was different, loyal, affectionate. But it was all fake. My heart twisted painfully. I hugged my brother and sobbed. I really loved her. So much. But why couldn't we stay together? My brother patted my back, his expression pained. Ethan, no matter how much you loved her, it's over. If she could cheat once, she'll do it again. He thought my grief was over betrayal. But he didn't know the truth, that what hurt most was having to let go of the person I loved so deeply. Because Emily hadn't cheated. All of this was a lie I had crafted. 3 months ago, I had accidentally bumped into a girl. That same night, I had a strange dream, one that revealed the world I lived in was actually the setting of a novel. A lesbian novel. And Emily was the main character. But her partner wasn't me. I, Ethan, was just cannon fodder. The girl I had bumped into, Lena, was the true protagonist, the one Emily was destined to fall in love with. According to the plot, Emily would meet Lena and realize that what we had, growing up together, the bond of childhood friends, wasn't love. She would fall for Lena instead. And my possessiveness, my refusal to let go, would drive me to hurt Lena again and again, until Emily's last shred of affection for me vanished. My parents, who adored me, would turn against Lena, too, repeatedly. In the end, our entire family would meet a tragic fate. At first, I didn't believe it. But no matter where Emily and I went, Lena's shadow seemed to follow. When we went shopping, she was handing out flyers on the street. When we dined at a restaurant, she was our waitress. Even after I changed my college application and took Emily to a university in another state, Lena still appeared, miraculously ending up in the same major, the same classes. It was as if fate itself was pulling the strings. In the days that followed, I watched Lena accidentally stumble into Emily's arms. Scrape against Emily's car while riding her bike. Get bullied, only for Emily to appear and scare the attackers away, making Lena treat her like a savior. She even brought homemade snacks. Emily's cold indifference didn't reassure me. It terrified me. Because in the book, she had reacted the same way to Lena at first. Lena was a ticking time bomb, a constant reminder that Emily, the woman who had always been mine, would be stolen away. And no matter how hard I tried to keep them apart, they always found a way to meet. Emily's feelings for Lena would begin with a single, pivotal moment. The day I realized this, I tried to stop Emily from going out. But she, misunderstanding my panic for laziness, pulled me from bed and kissed my forehead. "Darling, if you don't get up, you'll be late." I wrapped my arms around her waist, pushing her back onto the bed, my head in her lap. "Emily, don't go anywhere today. Stay here with me." "So bossy." She smirked. "But I have to go to class, unless you can think of something more enticing to make me stay." Her finger traced from the tip of my nose to my lips, mischief in her eyes. I saw through her game and playfully bit her finger. "Always messing around." She giggled, flipping me over and pinning me beneath her. "How is kissing my own boyfriend messing around?" She leaned down to kiss me, but I blocked her with my hand. So she kissed the back of it instead, then pecked her way up my arm like a chick at grain. The ticklish sensation made me squirm, but she just picked me up and pressed me against the wall. We wrestled like that for a while, until my lips were numb from her kisses. Finally, she let me go. Thankfully, she listened, staying home with me all day. I thought maybe, just maybe, things could change. But the next day, as Emily drove me to class, a car lost control and crashed into us. In that moment, I understood, nothing had changed. To protect me, Emily swerved sharply, putting herself in the path of danger. I walked away with a headache and bruises, but she was covered in blood. When we were pulled from the wreckage, I saw Lena giving Emily first aid. And I knew, all my efforts had been for nothing. They were destined to meet. Destined to fall in love. Emily survived, thanks to Lena's quick actions. Emily's parents were overwhelmingly grateful. After learning of Lena's tragic past, they even considered adopting her as a goddaughter. Lena refused, flustered. "Mr. and Mrs. Carter, you're too kind. Emily saved me before, it's only right that I helped her now." Emily's mother blinked in surprise. "So our Emily saved you? You two really are destined." Destined. The word hit me like a blade. Looking at Lena, a dark thought took root. I had grown up with Emily. So why could she, the protagonist, so easily take everything that was mine? I finally understood why, in the book, I had become so twisted. No one could stand by and watch their love, their special bond, be stolen by someone else. But I didn't want to end up like that. I didn't want to hurt Lena, to make Emily hate me. So I decided to let go. I could find love again. But if I lost my life, I'd lose everything. To break up cleanly, and make Emily feel guilty, I staged a cheating scandal. After learning that Emily would be drugged on a business trip to Port City, that she would unknowingly sleep with Lena, I decided to act first. I arrived early, before Lena could get there. I took the drugged, flushed Emily away, tying her to a bed. To keep her from waking, I blindfolded her with a tie. My heart pounded so hard I thought it might burst. I had never done anything like this before. But the arrow was knocked, I had to let it fly. I left marks on her body, my hands shaking, my own tears blurring my vision. I wanted to run. But it was too late. When the drug's effects were nearly gone, I brought my brother to catch her in the act. It didn't matter if there were other women, what mattered were the marks I had left. Marks she couldn't explain. Everything went as planned. She was the villain in everyone's eyes. I was the tragic, betrayed lover. After leaving Port City, I locked myself in my room. The sadness was real, letting go of someone I'd loved for so long wasn't easy. The guilt was real, too, because I had framed her based on a story's plot. My parents took turns trying to comfort me, but I ignored them. They thought Emily had wronged me. Only I knew the truth, that she hadn't done anything. Emily called repeatedly. I never answered. Later, She came to my house, begging to see me. I had known a sudden, brutal breakup wouldn't be easy for her to accept. I couldn't bear the thought of slowly making her despise me, as the book had described. For days, she stood outside my home. My parents, who had watched her grow up, finally relented during a heavy rain, letting her in. Her pleading voice filled the space outside my door. "Darling, I was wrong. Please talk to me. It's all my fault. I shouldn't have drunk. Shouldn't have let myself get so dirty. I've washed. Please just look at me, okay? Darling, I'm begging you." Her voice broke. "Do you want me to peel off the skin before you'll see me?" I knew she was capable of such extremes. I had no choice but to open the door, my own eyes filled with tears. She was soaked, like a drowned kitten, reaching for me, then pulling back. I looked at her exposed skin, her neck raw and red, as if she had scrubbed herself violently. The bite marks were scabbed over. "Darling, please, give me another chance." "Emily, stop." My voice was hollow. "Without me, you can love someone else. There won't be anyone else." Her eyes were bloodshot, her denial fierce. "What about Lena? Can you say her appearance didn't affect you?" Emily didn't deny it immediately. And I knew I was right. I wiped my tears and looked at her coldly. "Emily, let's break up. Cleanly. Darling, it's not like that. I beg you. Let's give each other some dignity." I closed the door before she could say more, sliding down it to the floor. Outside, I heard her crying, her fists hitting the wall. "How can you be so cruel?" I couldn't listen anymore. I put on headphones and messaged Emily's parents, asking them to send someone for her. Then I applied to study abroad. I didn't know when she left. When I woke up, I was on an 4 drip. The doctor said it was acute pneumonia, luckily caught in time. My mother saw me awake and hugged me, crying. "Baby, don't be sad. Mom and Dad will always love you." After calming her, I brought up studying abroad. She hesitated, as if she wanted to say something but swallowed the words. My father patted her back, sending her to the kitchen to find me something to eat. When we were alone, he sat in the chair beside my bed, his expression serious. "Ethan. What really happened?" My grip on the blanket tightened. Before I could speak, he handed me a file, one containing records of my activities in Port City. My heart lurched. Cold sweat broke out. If my father could find this, Emily could too. Right now, she was too focused on winning me back to investigate. And she would never suspect that the person with her that night had been me. But once she realized. I murmured, "Dad." Before I could ask, he seemed to understand. "I've taken care of it. The Carter girl won't find out." Relief washed over me. "But you have to tell me the truth," he said. "You're my son. No matter how big the trouble, I'll support you." My eyes burned. That was how my parents were in the book, doing everything to drive Lena away, only to meet a terrible end. I hesitated, then told him everything, except the part about my death. My father's frown deepened as he listened. I didn't know if he believed me. But he helped me with the study abroad arrangements without another word. 4 years passed. Emily and Lena were getting married. Though I had avoided news of them, our social circles overlapped. The announcement reached me anyway. The weight in my chest lifted. Everything had settled. Without me, the cannon fodder, interfering, they had ended up together. It had just taken longer than the book predicted. I could finally return home in peace. At the airport, a woman in casual clothes greeted me. "Ethan, welcome back." She smiled, waving, and handed me a bouquet. After a moment of stunned silence, I recognized her, Xiaqin, the woman my parents had introduced me to. An arranged marriage prospect. Though it was arranged, I had been chatting with her for a while. She was gentle, kind, and strikingly beautiful. I took the flowers. "Thank you. I really like them." "Good." She smiled, taking my luggage. I followed her toward the elevator, then froze. Because my eyes met Emily's. She stood there, familiar yet unfamiliar. Her face was stern, her features refined, her posture tall and commanding. The warmth in her eyes was gone, replaced by icy indifference. She walked toward me, each step like a hammer to my chest. Her overwhelming presence made me instinctively step back. Then, a crisp voice broke the tension. "Xiao Yao, I'm over here. Did I make you wait long?" "Lena." Emily paused almost imperceptibly. Lena, stunning in a black suit, reached her side. "I told you a driver was coming. Why cancel an important meeting to pick me up? I'm not a child." Her tone was reproachful, but her face glowed with happiness. My grip on the bouquet tightened, the thorns pricking my palm. There was a time when Emily had treated me like that. No matter where I went, no matter how far, she would take me, and when I returned, no matter how busy she was, she would come for me. Now, that was no longer mine. My return spread quickly. At a gathering with old friends, after catching up, the conversation turned to gossip. "Brother Ethan, be honest, did you come back to steal the bride? Say the word, and we'll help you snatch Emily back. Their parents hate this lesbian marriage." I waved my hands. "Don't joke. Emily and I are history." My friend sighed. "I'd have believed the sun would rise in the west before I'd believe you two would break up. What really happened between you? How did Emily end up with Lena? Was there a misunderstanding? Did that bitch Lena steal your girl?" The questions flew at me. They listed all the ways Emily had spoiled me. Since kindergarten, she had been by my side, protecting me, indulging me. When other kids fell, they picked themselves up. But if I fell, Emily would rush over, coaxing me, checking for injuries. If I was bullied, one call for her and she'd make the bullies regret it. Her parents used to tease her, saying she was raising a little husband. "What good was it that she treated you so well before?" one friend scoffed. "Women who can't keep their legs closed are trash." Silence fell. They all looked at me for confirmation. I didn't want to deal with this. I excused myself to the restroom. When I came out, I collided with a familiar chest. My heart raced. I hadn't expected Emily to be here. I panicked, turning to leave. "Darling." Her voice was low, trembling. 4 years. Don't you even want to look at me?" The old nickname made me freeze. Tears welled in my eyes. Keeping my back to her, I forced my voice steady. "Miss Carter is about to get married. I don't think calling your fiancé that is appropriate. But it doesn't matter. You should be loyal. Calling others that is really inappropriate." I stepped forward. Before I could take a second step, arms wrapped around my waist. A handkerchief pressed over my mouth and nose. When I woke, I was on a bed. The room was white, blinding, just one door, no windows. The door opened. Emily walked in. Only then did I remember what had happened before I blacked out. The oppressive atmosphere, the way she looked at me, something was wrong. I scrambled back, pressing against the wall. "Emily, what are you doing?" "Darling. I just..." Her eyes were obsessed, wounded. She stepped closer. "I miss you so much. Emily, don't go crazy. Let me go. My parents will worry if I disappear. Why don't you ever think about me? Why is your heart full of other people?" Her face twisted, cold and sinister. The next second, she grabbed me, shoving me onto the bed. "Why do you smile at other women? Why do you accept flowers from someone else? How can you let another woman be your girlfriend? Darling, you've been so naughty. I have to punish you." She kissed me, ferocious, brutal, without an ounce of tenderness. Pain shot through me. I bit her lip hard, tears streaming. "Get off." Her gaze locked onto my tears. She froze. Then she stood abruptly and slapped herself, hard. "Darling, I'm sorry. I scared you." Her voice broke. "Don't be mad, okay? Then let me go." She didn't answer. "Emily, do you want to lock me up here forever?" "Darling, no, believe me." I had no idea what she was planning. Later, I found out she had used my phone to trick my parents into thinking I was safe, that they shouldn't worry. That eased my anxiety, somewhat. Emily took care of me as she always had: food, clothes, everything to my liking. She even let me move freely around the villa after I complained about being trapped in a windowless room. But as her wedding to Lena approached, she showed no sign of letting me go. I was a canary in a gilded cage. And she was still preparing for the wedding every day. Each time she came near me, I hated her more. One night, when she tried to sleep beside my bed, I snapped. "Emily, can you not come near me? You're disgusting." She froze. Then, silently, she began undressing. I bolted upright. "Emily, you're getting married. What the hell are you doing?" She didn't seem to hear me. One piece of clothing after another fell to the floor. I couldn't watch. I turned away, trying to escape, but the door was locked. Just as I thought she would force herself on me, she stopped. Her expression was sick, desperate. "Honey, look at me." Her voice was ragged. "I've been washing for years. I'm not dirty anymore." Guilt twisted inside me. But she was about to marry Lena. What did it matter to me if she was clean? "You should care whether Lena minds." I don't know how, but my words enraged her. Her pleading expression vanished, replaced by something dark and vicious. She wrenched my hand from my eyes, forcing me to look at her. "I'm yours. How can it not concern you? If I'm dirty, you should punish me. Or just kill me. But you just want to abandon me. Don't you even love me at all?" Terror clawed at me. She was mentally ill. And when she pressed a knife into my hand, I was certain. "Darling, punish me." She forced my grip around the blade, pressing it to her chest. I remember every place they touched me. "Let's cut them off, one by one." "Emily, stop. Wake up." I fought to pull the knife away. But she was convinced, if I wasn't angry, if I didn't punish her, it meant I didn't love her. The tip of the blade drew a line of blood. The sight made me furious and frantic. "Enough. I was the one who did this to you. You're not dirty." I expected her to demand answers, to rage at me for what I'd done. Instead, she shook her head, refusing to believe me. She dragged the knife deeper, still insisting I punish her. I had no time to wonder why she didn't trust me. I just had to stop her. In an instant, she shifted, from defiant to broken. Red-eyed, she begged, "Darling, I really washed myself clean. You can lock me up. I have so many locks." She kept lowering her standards, as if afraid of angering me. "I've never truly had you, darling." Then, voice trembling, "As long as you don't find me disgusting." "Enough." I snapped. "Put your clothes on. Now. Or get out." She obeyed instantly, dressing quickly. "Darling, you still want me, right? I can sleep next to your bed, right?" I ignored her, turning away. "Darling, good night." I heard movement by the bed. She really was sick, choosing to sleep on the floor when there was a perfectly good bed. That night, I barely slept. When Emily left the room in the middle of the night, I followed. I discovered her house had a basement. Unfortunately, the door was code-locked. It sealed shut the moment she entered. I had no choice but to return to the room and pretend to sleep. 2 hours later, she came back. In the darkness, she took my hand and kissed it lightly. "Darling, it's all coming to an end soon." I didn't understand what she meant. But I knew it was connected to that basement. The next day, after Emily left, I searched for the basement entrance. 6-digit code. I tried her birthday. Mine. Our anniversaries. Nothing. Then I entered the date we broke up. The door clicked open. The basement was different from the room she'd locked me in. This one was dark, cold, like standing at the edge of an abyss, as if something monstrous might lunge from the shadows at any moment. Deeper inside, I found a table like a surgical bed, with restraints. Electroshock devices. Drugs. I was horrified. This had to be some kind of treatment room. So Emily did have a mental illness. But I searched everything and found no records, no clear explanation of what it was for. I put everything back, planning to ask Emily about it later. But as I left the basement, I saw Lena. I stiffened. I hadn't expected her to find Emily here. Lena's long hair framed her face as she looked down at me. Ethan, you really are like a lingering ghost. Her voice was cold. As a side character, you should know your place. Otherwise, the ending will be miserable. Side character. Did Lena also know she was the protagonist? I don't know what you're talking about. She smirked. Don't you? Then why did you go abroad in the first place? She was practically spelling it out. Emily has mental problems, she continued. You know that, right? My stomach dropped. What exactly are you trying to say? I'm just giving you advice. Never appear in front of her again. Otherwise, when she really goes crazy, it'll be because of you. But if I leave her, she will go crazy. Lena scoffed. I hope you can still laugh when Emily and I get married. With that, she left. I stood there, stunned, trying to figure out how to get answers from Emily. When she returned, I asked indirectly for a long time but got nothing useful. Finally, desperate, I used my trump card. I got her drunk. Emily had never had a high tolerance. After that incident, she didn't drink at all. So when I fed her wine mouth to mouth, she had no resistance. Her drunk eyes were terrifyingly bright, filled with excitement and disbelief. Darling, more. I handed her the glass. Drink it yourself. She hugged me boldly, rubbing her head against my shoulder. Want darling to feed me. So I fed her more. And in return, my lips were kissed, a lot. Looking at her blurred, unfocused eyes, I asked, Emily, do you have a mental illness? No. Why would I be sick? What's all that stuff in the basement for? She suddenly hugged me tighter, bursting into tears. I'm so sorry, darling. I'm dirty. I keep having thoughts about other people. My brain is out of control. I don't like her. But my head is full of memories of her. She's like a curse, always appearing in my life, in my mind. Always saying I love her, but I only love you, darling. But I can control it now. Every cell in my body hates her. If anyone touches me except you, darling, I'll throw up. From her answer, I understood. Emily's mind was filled with the book's memories, memories of her and Lena. And those memories had a stronger hold on her than reality. Her heart told her she didn't love Lena. But her brain was imprinted with the fact that she did. It was as if someone had forcibly stuffed the book's emotions into her head. That was why, when I said I was the one who had slept with her, she didn't believe me. Darling, I really have cleared her out of my head. She sobbed. Please don't leave me, okay? I cupped her face and kissed her lips. Emily, from now on, let's work together. I had thought she truly had feelings for Lena. But now, it seemed it was just the plot's influence. The wedding day arrived. Emily woke me early. Honey, I'm going to marry someone else. I yanked the covers over my head. Go ahead. You don't even care about me. Her voice was thick with resentment. Her phone kept ringing, calls urging her to hurry. I sat up, unable to bear the noise. You need to go to the venue. Now. Follow the process. Don't do anything else. Emily stared at me, her eyes full of grievance. Lena was terrified of me staying in the country. I was a key factor influencing Emily, which showed how important this wedding was to her. The strange voices in Emily's head seemed to be desperately trying to make her fall in love with Lena. As someone who stood to lose, I couldn't help but suspect Lena was involved. Regardless, I wouldn't let this wedding happen. I made up my mind, and kissed Emily on the lips. You're mine. I won't abandon you. Go with peace of mind. I'll give you a surprise. Her eyes lit up. She pressed another kiss to my lips before leaving. At noon, the venue was packed. Under everyone's gaze, Lena, stunning in white, made her entrance. Emily stood at the altar, scanning the crowd. The moment I appeared, her cold expression softened into something warm, like spring water. I walked onto the stage, ignoring the stunned whispers, and extended my hand to her. Emily, I've come to steal you away. Will you come with me? She strode forward, the corners of her mouth lifting. With the greatest pleasure. The guests gasped. Lena's face paled. Emily, look at me. You love me. You want to marry me. Emily didn't hesitate. No. I don't love you. I've only ever loved Ethan. Our hands clasped tightly. I looked at Lena, and saw her face turn deathly white. Then she coughed up blood, muttering to the empty air. The scene was so bizarre it sent chills down everyone's spines. The wedding ended in chaos. Emily's parents had a complete change of heart, treating me like a treasure, apologizing profusely. They couldn't understand how they'd ever agreed to the marriage in the first place. Over the years, they had doted on Lena like a daughter, supporting her studies, helping her into the family business. But the key was, they couldn't fathom how they'd ever agreed to two women marrying. Especially without even asking Emily's opinion. According to Mrs. Carter, it was like being hypnotized. My earlier guess had been right. The book's ending should have been that wedding. Once the plot concluded, everything returned to normal. After the disruption, those who usually surrounded Lena seemed to wake from a dream. The strange voices in Emily's head vanished. But she still needed therapy. For years, she had been caught between reality and the book's plot. The only thing she knew for certain was that her love for me was real. Everything else was a tangled mess of truth and lies. Even now, she didn't believe I was the one who had slept with her that night. Fortunately, my father had cleaned up the evidence. I laid it all out in front of her. The past had been foolish, but I needed her to know she was untainted. After reading the documents, her eyes welled up. I'm sorry. Back then, it was me. No. I apologized, guilt crushing me. This farce was all my fault. The next second, she hugged me tightly, as if trying to merge me into her body. Darling, I'm not dirty. Her voice cracked with relief. Thank God it was you. Then, as she cried, she seemed to transform, becoming bold, teasing. You bullied me when I didn't know anything. I want payback. Even though I was the one in the wrong, it sounded like she was the one who had suffered more. My face burned. It's daytime. Darling, I don't care. I want it. Emily didn't listen to my protests. She hugged me, and in an instant, the world spun. She pinned me down, her kiss sealing my lips. It was passionate, urgent, possessive, as if making up for all the lost years. With the wedding's collapse, the book's plot was truly over. I thought there would be no more interaction with Lena. But she took a shocking, desperate action, kidnapping me. Ethan, why is your life so good? No matter what your identity is, she always chooses you. I just want to complete the mission and go back alive. Why can't she love me? From her fragmented, crazed words, I learned the horrifying truth. She had tried to win Emily twice before. The first time, she had taken my current identity, growing up with Emily as childhood sweethearts. But Emily hadn't fallen for her. Instead, she fell for me, the distressed, lonely lesbian. In the end, Lena's first attempt failed. And according to the book's setting, I died a miserable death because of it. This time, she had taken my previous life's identity, mimicking my appearance to win Emily. But Emily hadn't even noticed her. So Lena had used something called a system to hypnotize Emily. It was cheating. And the price was that if she failed, her life would be accelerated. At the wedding, she had used hypnosis again, desperate to salvage the situation. But what she didn't know was that after 4 years of struggle, Emily had built up resistance. Emily's confession to me had been the final answer. Lena had fought across 2 lifetimes. And in the end, all her efforts were in vain. Now, her life was ending. When Emily arrived, Lena had a knife to my throat. Seeing her, Lena's emotions spiraled. Xiaoyao, you love me, right? Say you love me, and I'll let him go. Say it. Emily looked at me, and nodded slightly. I don't love you. You. Hearing that, Lena collapsed. I took the chance to slam my elbow into her, breaking free. In an instant, she was subdued. Emily rushed to me, hugging me tightly, her body trembling. The hatred in her eyes as she looked at Lena was terrifying, as if she wanted to tear her apart. I held her just as tightly. Emily, I don't think I've ever said this to you. Said what? She loosened her grip slightly, searching my eyes. Emily. I love you. I looked at her earnestly, pouring all my heart into those words. 3 months later, I proposed. Emily had been planning this for a long time, but I had thought it was for her wedding to Lena. Later, she told me that if I hadn't crashed the wedding, she would never have married Lena. According to her original plan, she would have proposed to me that day. Of course, she had been prepared to be rejected. But luckily, I had finally taken the chance. Speaking of marrying Emily, my brother nearly cursed me to death. He was afraid I was being blinded by love, that I'd throw away my happiness for a bad girl. He kept introducing me to other high-quality women, even encouraging Xia Qing to pursue me. Emily's face darkened with fury. That day, she dragged me to get our marriage certificate, and then proudly posted it online. Ethan Carter, mine. Me, Ethan Carter's. My brother's eyes turned red with rage. I had to tell him everything that had happened to calm him down. Emily's bad girl reputation was finally cleared. But she gained a new title, Love Struck. But thanks to that, with my awkward personality, the two of us might never have ended up together otherwise. The end.